Before we begin the process of importing, you need to ask yourself, am I typically a neat and organized person, or am I really messy? And be honest. Keeping your files and projects organized is the easiest way to have a wonderful experience in both learning and using After Effects. Let's get started with our project by familiarizing ourselves with some of the assets we'll be working with. Now, a lot of new After Effects users are very comfortable inside of Photoshop or Illustrator. And so I encourage you to take advantage of those tools because After Effects integrates seamlessly with those. Now, we'll explore a lot of the intricacies between those applications a little later. Right now, I want to import a Photoshop document and an Illustrator file and a video file so you can see all the different formats of different things that After Effects can import. So to start the import process, let's go up under the File menu and choose Import and choose File. Navigate in your Exercise Files folder to your Footage folder, and in your Footage folder, you'll find a Photoshop document. Now, if you don't have access to the exercise files, you can use any layered Photoshop document. That's perfectly fine. Now, the Photoshop document I want you to import is this training swoosh document. If you click on it once, we can highlight it, and then down here, we have options for how to import that file. As a general rule, when I import layered Photoshop documents, I like to keep all the layers so when I bring them into After Effects, I can animate all the different layers. So in order to do that, we need to change the Import As option from Footage to Composition Retain Layer Sizes. That extra Retain Layer Sizes makes things easier for animation. Now, I'm going to make sure that we don't have Photoshop Sequence selected. If it's selected in yours for any reason, just make sure it's deselected. And then we'll click Open. Now we have this option here for layer styles. If you're familiar with layer styles, great. If not, just understand in Photoshop, you can have layer styles and you can import them into After Effects. Now let's click OK. Now notice when we imported our layered Photoshop document, we now have a second composition in our project. After Effects supports more than one composition. Now it also created a folder, and if I open that folder, I can see each of the layers that were used to actually create that Photoshop document. Now let's go ahead and collapse that folder. Just so we can understand how tightly things are integrated, I'm going to jump into Photoshop just for one quick second. Inside of Photoshop, I'm going to go to File, Open, and navigate to my Footage folder. And in the PSD folder, let's open the Training Swoosh PSD. Notice here on the right-hand side of the interface, I have my layers. If your Photoshop doesn't look like this, come to this pull down in the upper right-hand corner named Essentials. If you click on that, you can reset your workspace to Essentials, or if you have any of the other layouts chosen, just make sure to choose Essentials. Now you should see all these layers over here on the right-hand side. Now, notice when I select the extra large pluses layer, its opacity is at 29%. Now also notice this FX on the right side of the layer. If I click this little gray arrow, it'll open up my layer styles. So here I have an outer glow layer. Now that's all we're going to do inside of Photoshop. Now let's double click our training swoosh composition. And if we go down to layer 3, it's our extra large pluses layer. And if I open this triangle here on that layer, it'll actually show me I have layer styles, and I can open the layer styles, and sure enough, there's my outer glow. So you can see the way layers work in After Effects, they have these triangles, and you can just keep opening the triangles to see all the different options that you could adjust. Now, with layer 3 selected, let's open the transform options here. Now I'm just using my scroll wheel to scroll up and down within the timeline. In here, notice I have opacity, and check it out. It's 29%. So when you import layered Photoshop documents, a lot of the information does translate. Now let's import an Illustrator file. Instead of going up under the File menu and choosing Import, this time let's just double-click anywhere in this large gray area in the project panel. That'll automatically open your Import File dialog box, and I have to be honest, this is what I do about 90% of the time. If we select the Illustrator file folder in our Footage folder, 02AI, in there we can choose the H+ Sport Illustrator document. Now we can go ahead and just import that as footage since I want this to just come in as one element. Again, we'll make sure the sequence option here is deselected. Now if we click Open, we'll get one more dialog box. Under Import Kind, We could change our mind again, but I want to leave this set to footage and just choose OK. In order to preview this file that we just imported, we can double-click and it'll get loaded in our footage panel. So here, notice we've imported a logo from Illustrator. Now we're going to round out and finish this lesson by importing a video file. So if you double-click in the project panel, again, navigate to the footage folder, and we'll go to the video folder, and let's choose Stair Rundown. Notice the default is set as footage, and we can just click Open. It may take a second to import, but notice once it's imported, here in the top of my project panel, we get a breakdown summary of the actual size of the video, the codec that was used, whether it has audio, its frame rate, you get the idea. The project panel is the place where you can import all of the elements for your After Effects projects. Then it's up to you whether or not you want to use those elements in your different compositions. And of course, you can create many, many compositions in your projects and even layer compositions inside of other compositions. Now, I know it seems rather endless, but that's the beauty of After Effects. You can be as detailed or as general as you like. The biggest thing you need to know is that you can import a lot of different elements. It's up to you what you do with them.